practice. We'll do a 15-second mindful smile and then move on to our 2-minute mindful breathing practice. Someday we won't have to do warm-ups because we'll be in the moment all the time. And that's what happens with practice. As you practice your mindfulness, it spills over into everyday activity. And after a little while, there you are in the present moment all the time. But for now, we'll do our warm-up exercises. So beginning our 15-second mindful smile, we do that while we're also connecting to the body, the thoughts, the emotions, and the breath. So big smile. Okay. And now we're going to shift into the mindful breathing practice, after which I'll introduce today's 8-minute practice. So for the mindful breathing, we'll start by bringing our attention to our posture. If you're sitting or standing or lying down, just lining up that head, neck, and spine. Also embodying that sense, that attitude of alert attention and self-acceptance, just accepting who we are in this moment. And then bringing the attention to the breath as we breathe in and out through the nose. Staying with that breath, noticing the movement of the lower abdomen as we breathe mindfully. The in-breath, lower abdomen rises up, and then on the out-breath, it lowers back down again. So sensing that lower abdomen, the movement there, and also fully experiencing breathing. Just a natural breath, no need to change anything. Breathing. We know that nose breathing balances out the nervous system. So that's why we're doing the nose breathing. Also noticing when the attention wanders away from the breath, where does it go to? Maybe it goes to a part of the body. Maybe it goes to an emotion. Or maybe a thought. Taking note of that, because that is part of your present moment experience, and then bringing the attention back to the breath. Repetition is what builds the mindful muscle. It builds that skill of being able to focus one's attention to the present moment, using the body as that touchstone to the present moment experience. The body being the doorway into the present moment. Breathing. Staying with the breath. using that breath as our connecting point for the present moment experience. Breathing, very simple practice, yet very, very effective. The simpler the practice, the more effective. Okay, so that's about a 2-minute breathing practice. And now for our 8-minute practice for today. We're going to do a practice where we're going to fine tune our ability to use our attention in two different ways. And we're going to use the body as the object of attention. So the first way is going to be moving the attention around the body, sort of exploring the different parts of the body, noticing what's present. I like to call it taking inventory. And then the second way that we're going to use our attention is by sensing the entire body as a whole. And I'll guide you through this practice. So these are two very different ways of using the attention, moving it around and staying present, and then keeping it stationary, yet expanding it so that it can sense and experience and connect to the entire body. So I'll guide you through that process. So starting the practice, once again with the posture, the alert attention, self-acceptance, eyes open or closed or glancing down, whatever works best for you, knowing that creativity and imagination are great complements to your mindfulness practice. So you always want to leave time and space for creativity and imagination when practicing. And so now bringing the attention to the body. And you can pick any part of the body to pay attention to. And so you want to stay at a particular body part just for a short period of time, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. And then moving on to a different part of the body in no particular order. You can just go with wherever you feel like moving your attention. Noticing what's present in each part of the body as you move that attention around. Is there comfort? Is there discomfort? Rolling out that welcome mat for both comfort and discomfort. Because in mindfulness, we practice being present in all different situations, comfort, discomfort, and neutral. There are plenty of times where there's really no comfort or discomfort. It's just kind of neutral. So is it neutral? Is it comfortable? Is it uncomfortable? As we move the attention around the body. Also noticing when the attention wanders away from this practice, from this body practice. If it wanders away, where does it go to? A thought, an emotion, breath, maybe something that happened in the past or that you're concerned might happen in the future. You want to keep that attention right here in the present moment, using the body as your anchor for that present moment experience. Moving it around, taking inventory, touching base with the different parts of the body. Okay, and now we'll shift into the second part of the practice. So, expanding the field of attention to include the entire body. I find that everybody experiences this in a different way. So, once again, creativity and imagination. How do you expand your field of attention to include the entire body? And now, sensing the entire body, that sense of the body as a whole. Perhaps imagining that as you inhale, the entire body expands. And then as you exhale, it relaxes back down again. Some people find that helpful to make that connection and to experience this practice of whole body mindfulness. But knowing that we're expanding the field of attention to include the entire body, holding the body in that expanded field of attention and sensing, what are you experiencing when you sense that body as a whole? And once again, noticing when the attention wanders, where it goes to, and then bringing it back to that sense of the entire body. And once again, what are you experiencing? Is there comfort, discomfort, or neutral? Those are your three choices. And greeting each with that welcome mat. That willingness to be present in all different situations. Body as a whole. Sensing that entire body. Using your imagination and creativity to create this experience for yourself. As I mentioned, everybody approaches this in a little bit of a different way. Whole body mindfulness. Okay, so let's finish up the practice by opening our eyes. We want to finish each formal mindfulness practice with our eyes open for a few moments so that we create that seamless transition between our formal practice of mindfulness, some people call it meditation, and then everyday activity. As I mentioned in the beginning, with practice, we can be mindful all the time. We don't have to do warm-up exercises because we're already present. And one of the ways that I find is very effective to bring that sense of mindfulness 24/7 is by finishing each practice with the eyes open. So you simulate what does it feel like during everyday activity, transferring those skills from the formal practice into the 24/7 experience. So eyes are open. And just a few more moments. And there we have it. Okay, so Q&A. So Lorraine has a question today. She wants to know if mindfulness can be helpful in creating positive thinking. The answer to that is yes, but it does it in a way that is very different from what you might be familiar with in a lot of the positive thinking approaches. Mindfulness creates positive thinking by being fully present with all types of thinking. That means negative thinking too. I know this is a very different paradigm than maybe what you're used to, but the best way to create positive thinking is by training yourself to be present in all different situations. And I've talked about that before. And so, to the degree that we experience everything, negative, positive, neutral, comfortable, uncomfortable, neutral, to the degree that we're willing to experience all of those things, it has a very profound effect on our autonomic nervous system, that part of our nervous system that regulates our survival instinct, our fight or flight. And since so many of us get stuck in the fight or flight, what happens then is when we're stuck in fight or flight, which is a fear-based experience, it influences our thoughts to be negative. And since mindfulness takes us out of that fight or flight experience, brings us back into balance, into a what would be normal, positive kind of outlook, that's where the positive thinking would come from. So as the nervous system changes and becomes balanced, so will the thoughts. They'll move away from negativity into being much more positive. And so we get there once again by embracing both positive, negative, and neutral thinking, balancing out the nervous system, and then creating those new patterns through that balance of thought, which would be along the lines of positive thinking. So there you have how mindfulness works with positive thinking. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care and be well. Oh, let's finish up with that 15-second smile. So here we go. All righty, that's it. See you next time.